It says, so when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and then he responded, he that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. And notice he once again stooped down and he wrote on the ground. What did he write? We don't know what he wrote,
That's right.
but it was effective.
That's right.
It says, and they which heard it in verse 9, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest unto the last. And let me drop this, Romans 2:15. It's important that we listen to our conscience. You see, baptism in coming to the Lord, baptism, 1 Peter 3:20-21, is the answer of a good conscience towards God. It's important that you have a good conscience towards God, and it's important that you allow your conscience, as it is good towards God, to lead and guide your life. Only when it's towards God. Because here's the thing about the conscience. In Romans 2:15 it says, which show the work of the law written in their hearts. Their conscience also bearing witness, and their thoughts the meanwhile accusing or else excusing. Sometimes we will allow our conscience to excuse. Amen. What we know to be wrong. But if we maintain, and that's why I spoke earlier about committing now, not talking about January 1, but committing now to the Lord, and allow our conscience to guide us, having a good conscience towards God. Man, can you just try it sometime? Commit every day to have a good conscience towards God. And see how your life changes for you. Because if your conscience is not towards God, then it's going to make excuses for things that are against God.
Amen.
You say, well, it's not really that bad. Let's look at it as being tolerant. And by being, our conscience saying, let's look at things as being tolerant towards others, we are looking to excuse. And even when it comes to our own conduct and actions, we will tend to excuse if our conscience is not towards God.
That's right.
But here you see an example of what happens when the conscience does not excuse, but accuse. Because Jesus never said, oh, you want to bring this wrong here? Oh, just write your name down. Oh, yeah, I know what you've done. He did something that it says he stooped and he wrote on the ground. And something began to happen. And I believe that these men's consciences started to accuse them. Their conscience started to accuse them. And then it says, and when he looked up, there was only Jesus. It says in verse 9, and they which heard it being convicted by their own conscience went out one by one. Watch this. Young fellas, watch this. Beginning with them OGs. That's some original gangsters, amen. That's some old fellas. Them young boys, they still sit there, what you gonna do with it, Jesus? What you gonna do with it, Jesus? Them old boys, they ease up on out of there. They saw quick wars taking place, or what they perceived to be taking place, or what they imagined to be taking place. Their conscience started to tear them up.
That's right.
So it says, and they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning with them old fellows tipping up out of there, even unto the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. When Jesus had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, woman, where are those thine accusers? Have no man condemned thee? They had accused her, but they didn't condemn her, because she was still there. They were gone. And she said, no man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
Amen.
Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. Jesus was left alone, and this woman was standing in the midst. And here's what I want us to see this morning as I prepare to close here. Alone at last with Jesus.
Well,
The best outcome for this woman was to be left alone with Jesus.
Amen.
These individuals did not realize how big of a favor in all of the misguided thinking and the misguided motives. They did not realize that they were doing the best thing for this woman that could ever have been done to her by anybody. And I know it didn't start out looking that way, but ultimately they did the best thing for her that they ever could have done for her. Though misguided their intents were, they did the best thing for her. Because it says, as he looked up, there was only the woman.
Uh-huh.
So the best outcome for this woman was to be left alone with Jesus.
Uh-huh.
And here stands Jesus and this woman. And his undivided attention of the woman as she stood along with him. The woman had been caught in the very act of a sin that by law required her death by stoning. Jesus made no attempt to stop the man from stoning her in his presence. As we recall, Jesus even made a statement that challenged them. It says he stunned them when he put forth one condition, simply put a condition on them that he who is without sin, let him first cast a stone at her.
that's right.
He said, I want you to look deeply. Without saying it, he proclaimed loudly. I want you to take a deep look inside yourself. And if you can take a deep look inside yourself and see that you stand before me without sin, yet condemn this woman, then you go ahead and carry out the letter of the law. He said, I'm not going to tell you not to do it. But I am going to challenge you to take a deep look at yourself.
Amen.
And we ought to be so grateful for a Savior
Amen.
that will allow us in his presence, even we are guilty of transgressing his laws. Even when we are guilty, he will still allow us to stand before him, that we may make this thing right.
Amen.
Jesus was the only one in the gathering who had the necessary credentials to cast a stone at the woman based on looking at his life. But just because he could, did not mean that he had to.
Amen.
Instead, he chose to pardon her and give her another opportunity, another chance. And when we find ourselves caught up in sin, we need to make an effort to be alone with Jesus. So yeah, sometimes we do need to be alone.
Amen.
And we may spend time with Jesus. And we can spend time in meditation, in time in prayer, and even, yes, time in fasting. And it'll bring us closer to the Lord. Only Jesus can look past our faults and give us the opportunity to go from his presence, renewed and without guilt. I want us to know this morning that every one of us, we need to have that moment where we come to Jesus. You may have heard it in the business world where something's going on inside a corporation, inside the business, where somebody has made a bad decision, and then the words put out, like, look here, we got to fix this thing. We need to have a come to Jesus moment. What are they saying? They're simply saying, somebody needs to come clean. Somebody needs to fess up what they have been guilty of and get this thing right.
That's right.
So in all of our lives, we need to have a moment. If you're here this morning, you are not a child of God, a member of the blood-bought Church of Christ, you need to have a come to Jesus moment.
Amen.
Amen.
You need to come to Jesus
Amen.
at this moment. Why now, Brother Bishop? Because tomorrow is not promised.
Amen.
What is your life? It's even as a vapor that appeared for a little while. Come now while the blood is running warm in your veins. You need to come to Jesus.
That's right.
When we come to Jesus, there's always going to be something behind us that's pushing us. Something that's caused our circumstances to be such that we have no choice but to come to him. Some of us are going to come to Jesus under less than pleasant circumstances. But whatever it is that causes you to stop and come to Jesus, it may be the worst experience of your life. Something so traumatic may happen in your life, but if it comes to Jesus, causes you to come to Jesus, it would have been no worth the result of giving you life in Jesus. No matter how bad it may be, how traumatic it may be, if it brings you closer to God. Look at the things that Job went through. The things that Job went through in his life, they were traumatic, beyond reason, beyond imagination for many of us. But the end result was that Job came closer. Job had a strong relationship. He was better for all those things. Yes, I'm talking about he lost all 10 of his children in one day, lost all of his wealth in one day. His body was attacked all at the same time. His wife even said, why don't you just curse God and die? But the end of it is that Job came closer to the Lord. Amen. Through all that, he came closer to the Lord. So whatever it is that's going on in your life right now, however traumatic it may be, if it brings you closer to the Lord, it's all worth it. Amen. Sometimes we will have a unique experience that will bring us to the Lord. And I'm not talking about a unique way of being saved. There's only one way to be saved. That's by obeying the gospel of Jesus Christ.
All right. Amen.
I'm not talking about a unique experience in being saved. I'm talking about some unique experience that will get your attention and say, you know what? I need to surrender. Amen. I need to surrender. People have lost their jobs because the job was their life. And then they finally made a decision to surrender to God. People have lost loved ones and finally made a decision to surrender to God. People's health have deteriorated and finally made a decision, you know what? I truly need the Lord. Amen. So we all may have a unique experience. But whatever it may be that brings you to the Lord, take notice of God's plan. Whatever it was, or whatever it may be that brings you to the Lord, that's God's plan for your life. And like this woman, she probably never saw that as being the occasion that will bring her to the Lord. She may have been very content. It may have even been very, very profitable in what she had been doing. May have been just very comfortable in her situation. But then this thing that brought her before the Lord was by way of an opportunity or the result or the penalty of death itself. She was facing death. She had been caught in the very act. She was facing death. And this brought her before the Lord. And I can stand here this morning as I close and say that this unique situation that brought her before the Lord, she didn't waste it. She did not waste this opportunity that brought her before the Lord. As frightening as it may have been, she did not waste it. Because I got no argument from her. Jesus says, go and sin no more. And we don't read anything about what this woman may have said in response.
That's right.
We saw her actions. She left Jesus. And I know she left in a better condition than when she came to him. And I'm saying to you this morning, whatever it is that has caused you to take a look at the Lord, be thankful to him for it. If it's your health that has deteriorated, if you lost your job, if you lost a family member, if you lost your husband, your wife, whatever it may be, if it brings you closer to Jesus, man, you ought to say, blessed be the name of the Lord. Amen. That's what ultimately Job said. He said, naked I came to this world, naked should return. The Lord giveth, the Lord take away. He said, blessed be the name of the Lord. Alone and last with Jesus. This woman left, but before she left, Jesus gave her a choice. He said, said, go and do differently. Go and do differently. You said, what choice did he give him, Brother Bishop? He said, go and sin no more. That was her choice. That was her choice. Go and sin no more. When faced with the choice of eternal life, that's all we need. Don't need 3 or 4, 5, 6 different things to choose from. Choose that which God presents to you. Go and sin no more. Serve me. That's your choice. If you want to stand before me, you hear me say, well done, thy good and faithful servant, go and sin no more. That's your choice. Because anything less, it's not going to be enough. Alone at last with Jesus. As I close this morning, do all diligence to be alone with Jesus. Once you have the opportunity to come before him in his presence, the presence of the Lord, I want you to know that your life will never be the same.
That's right.
Over and over, reading the scripture about individuals who came in contact with the Lord, and their life was never the same. Even those who chose not to follow him because of their own pride and selfishness. They chose not to follow him, but their life was never the same because they had been in the presence of the Lord. They knew the truth. They may not have obeyed it, but those that we read about, the woman that had an issue of blood, when she left, her life was not the same. Those 10 lepers that we read about Jesus coming in contact with, their life was never the same. The family that had lost their young child, their life was never the same. Peter, James, and John, those men, their lives were never the same. Anytime you come in contact with Jesus, you spend some time alone with Jesus, your life will never be the same. Amen. Make every effort to spend some time alone with him every day. It'll make the greatest difference in your life. Don't wait. Talk about what you're going to do in January. Tomorrow is not promised. What is your life? This even as a vapor. Appears for a little while, and vanish away. Now is the acceptable time. If you want to make a change in your life, when can you do it? When should you do it? Now. Why? Because that's all you got.
Amen.
That's all you got. Don't be foolish like Pharaoh. When asked when he wanted the frogs that had plagued his country to disappear, he talked about tomorrow. Don't think you have tomorrow. Tomorrow's not promised. The Brother Bishop, are you trying to scare me? I'm trying to get your attention. I want you to see how serious this thing is. Your life is as a vapor. It appears for a little while and it's gone. Amen. The day that you hear this voice, harden not your heart. You are hearing the voice of Jesus now as I proclaim this word. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. When? Now. Amen. Now is the acceptable time. The day that you hear his voice, harden not your heart. Now. Why you keep saying it, Brother Bishop? Because that's all we got now. Amen. We've lost loved ones this year. Death is real. Amen. Hebrews 9:27 tells us it's an appointment. Amen. But you also can make an appointment now to say, I believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God. I'm ready to render myself to him. I've had a change of mind. I believe the story about his death, his burial, and his resurrection. I want to be saved. I want to be a part of the family of God. I want to be a child of God. Amen. I want to hear him say, well done, thou good and faithful servant. If you're here this morning, now's your time. In your heart, where you sit, take that time with Jesus right now. And say, this is it. I'm ready. There's nothing else going to hinder me. All I have is now. If you're this morning, you're not a child of God, obey the gospel of Jesus Christ. I beseech you. I beg you. Why? Because you have a soul. And what should it profit you if you gain the whole world and lose your own soul? Or what are you willing to exchange for your soul? What is it that's so important that you're willing to put in between you and God? What idol
Amen.
I ain't want to put between you and God.
Amen.
If you're here this morning, you're not a child of God, we beseech you, we beg of you, obey the gospel of Jesus Christ. The facts of the gospel are the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 4. That's the facts. Romans 6, 16, and 17, you have to obey from the heart. That form of doctrine, you have to obey that story. How do you obey that story? You have to hear it. Recognize that Jesus died, was buried, and rose again. You got to do it too. Not the same manner, but for the same purpose. You have to hear that story. You have to believe it. Without faith, you can't please God. Hebrews 11:6. You have to be willing to repent, have a change of mind. Luke 13, 3 and 5. Except you repent, he says, you will perish.
Amen.
Have a change of mind.
Amen.
We change our mind every day, all day.
Right.
You mean to tell me you can't have a change of mind about the direction that your soul is at?
Amen. Amen.
That's the most important thing you have, your soul. Have a change of mind, repent. Be willing to confess. You know, confess in Acts chapter 8, where he said, I believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God. That's the only confession we want to get out of your mouth. Jesus says, if you confess me, if you make that confession before men, I will confess you before my Father which is in heaven. That's all we want to hear you say. I believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God. And then upon that, you'll go into the water grave baptism. The sins are washed away. An operation takes place. A circumcision takes place. That old is cut away. It's faith of operation. Your sins are remitted, they're forgiven, they're washed away. No longer be held against you. You receive the gift of God himself, this Holy Spirit. You come out that water, you rise, walk in newness of life. You're added to the church of Christ, the body of Christ, his bride, his wife. He's coming back for her, which will mean you as well.
Amen.
If you're in her. Be faithful, Revelation 2:10 says, unto death, to the point of dying. Don't say be faithful till you die. It says be faithful to the point that you're willing to die. Revelation 2:10. He says, I'll give you a crown of life. You know what to do. I've said more than enough. If it's in your heart this morning, be alone with Jesus. You'll never be the same. If you're subject to the Lord's invitation this morning, we want you to come. If you're here this morning, you're a child of God, and you're falling by the wayside for whatever reason, I want you to come. Come back to him. Your heart's not promised. If you're subject to the Lord's invitation, softly and tender, Jesus is calling.